Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to OLC TV for some more Mandate of Heaven DLC for Total War 3 Kingdoms. Perfect start series, this time for Dong Zhuo. Now, much like the warlords who are available in the 190 start date, he does carry through his faction specialization, which for Dong Zhuo is intimidation. Now, intimidation is gained through raising settlements, executing your own characters, smashing enemy armies, generally being an oppressive tyrant. As it says here, your playstyle focuses oppression and control, and this will help you to control your public order and control corruption within your court. Now, he does get the amazing Xiliang cavalry in his army. He starts off with a pretty solid force, actually, and one of the things you will notice mainly is that unlike the 190 start date, he does not have Lu Bu. The reason for this is because Lu Bu was historically with Ding Yuan at this stage, and doesn't join Dong Zhuo until Dong Zhuo sort of bribes him to come across and kill Ding Yuan in the process. And you do get an event to do that much later on after the start date. But at the beginning, all you have is Li Ru, historically one of Dong Zhuo's main advisors. He's a pretty solid strategist as well. Anyway, enough of the introduction. Let's get into it, and I'll show you the perfect start in 7 turns.
四海之内，流言风起，皆云天数有变，汉作已终。张氏兄弟揭竿而起，意在诛灭无道昏君，推翻汉王朝。 雄心野望如燎原之火，一星难灭，终至欲壑难填。试问天下有谁能抵挡权柄的诱惑呢？宦官们对汉室倾颓视而不见，依旧为自己攫取着更大的权力。那些曾忠于汉王朝的诸侯，则看到了机会。世道如此。 天下人无不设法为己身谋取利益，而张角则盘算着要君临天下，统御四海。天子大权旁落，皇后和宦官们争权夺利，作乱朝政。战火已是一触即发，不知要流尽多少鲜血，才能使天下重归一统。主公，如今天下叛乱纷纭。 天子召您上洛，为汉室而战。
我管他姓甚名谁，管他因何而反。汉家朝廷自作自受，何须我来处理？我自有大志。为此，我必先招兵买马，积蓄兵力。若是这些宵小之辈胆敢与我为敌，定当叫他们粉身碎骨。
南方的土地，适合于作为扩张的目标。 您可以微服诸侯，让他们对您屈膝称臣。
若要扫清乱贼，我绝不会手下留情。可惜汉家天子妇人之仁，如此，只能自埋祸根。
主公，四海之内，叛徒风起，唯有您能平定天下。
With the introduction over, we are greeted with the standard opening screen, where it describes what's going on a little bit. So, the eminence of the tyrant. Those pitiful fools in the capital strut like peacocks. You've achieved greatness from your upbringing as a humble farmer, and yet they constantly overlook your majesty. Your ambition was written in the stars and confirmed by your discovery of the blade of Xiang Yu, the hegemon king. But mark your words, they will see your true ability, and your name shall be writ large on the annals of history. So, You need to wait for your perfect moment to take power, beware of an unseen enemy to the west, and build and consolidate your power. Dong Zhuo secures the edge of the empire. While those in the capital deal with rebellions and ill portents, you are left out here at the edge of the empire. Your lands are far from the culture of the capital and teeming with disloyal barbarians. One such group is setting itself up near to your home. You vow to cross those fools and send a message to their friends. So it's our standard battle against Bu Xiang. So we need to beat him up, and then we will get 10 intimidation. 10 intimidation is pretty damn good. See, our intimidation is currently here into overwhelming. It gives us massive public order and corruption bonuses. So we quite like that. Now, ancillaries, we have a farm manager and a clay axe, and we also have quite a large group of people here to throw it at. So I suggest disperse of these as you see fit. Oh, we have a pig as well. Right. You can have that. Dong Zhuo, I think, can have the pig because he's in the battle. And then this chap. Does he do anything? No, he's administration. So, go on, Goss, you can have that. There we go. Fantastic. All of that dealt with. The next thing we want to do is throw ourselves into battle. So, I'll see you in there. And here we are, and you can see that Dong Zhuo's army is not exactly balanced. He's a vanguard general, so he specializes in the shock cav, and he has some very, very good shock cav. This Xiliang cavalry is medium spear cavalry. It's pretty quick. It's not the quickest cavalry in the game by far, but it is pretty quick, and it hits hugely hard. Very, very effective, and certainly in these early battles it can sort of wipe out armies by themselves in a similar way to Cao Cao's heavy tiger and leopard cavalry, except you've got two of them and they're not quite as punchy because they're medium rather than heavy cav. But it's really simple. We've got 2 units of mounted saber militia and Bu Xiang to deal with, so we're gonna just be pretty damn aggressive, rock forward, and deal with them pretty much straight away. Dong Zhuo, if Bu Xiang fancies it, is up for a duel. He does a chunk of base damage, only a little bit of armor piercing. He is a vanguard, but he doesn't need to shy away from a fight, and he has this really rather cool trick here that boosts the melee damage and base and armor piercing, which makes him extremely effective and affects everyone who's nearby him, though it does affect their melee evasion, which can be a minor problem, but it's not the end of the world. Yes, we're going to accept that. And then 1 and 2, and then you chaps going to support quickly up. Very, very simple, not needing to worry about tactics. Dong Zhuo knocks him off the horse. Just waiting for the cavalry to move through this zone of control so that they will be benefited by this when we hit. 30-second duration, so I'm going to wait towards the end of it, I think, so they can get the most out of this buff as they battle. They do move so slowly over snow, though, it has to be said. 3, 2, 1, boom! There we go. Bang! Damn it, we just didn't pop it in enough time to hit that unit, but the other unit got it. Dong Zhuo is absolutely decimating Bu Xiang. There he goes. Bang! He moves well for a big lad as well, doesn't he? And they're starting to run. Unsurprising. They didn't really stand a chance. Off they go. Victory is ours. Was that simple. Now, these are cavalry. Chasing them down is going to be a little bit tough. You're welcome to try. I do like to try just for the sake of getting extra XP, but as you can see, our cavalry is just a little bit too heavy. These guys have got a speed of 81, we got a speed of 57. It's not going to happen. So yeah. End. And we lost a few men, has to be noted. Here we go, 8 here, 1 here, but not as many as they lost, and yeah, they were smashed in seconds, as you saw, and the Xiliang cavalry really can do that. Yeah, much like the heavy tiger and leopard cavalry, which are my favourite cavalry in the game. They're battle winners. They're absolute battle winners, these guys. There we go. And we got some cash, but more importantly, we got intimidation. And captured troops, we could go for replenishment. I don't need it. I'm going to take the income. I'm not worried about anything the looters have to throw at me. Okay, so we completed that and we got plus 10 intimidation. Next mission, Dong Zhuo extends his reach to the rural lands. The lands of your territory are vast and wild. While you've been able to control your homelands, the distant rural areas fall into insurrection. Now you must sally forth and retake what is yours. With such power behind you, none will dare oppose you, and we need to move towards Shuofang horse pastures, which are just down here, and we'll get another 10 intimidation. We've also got the standard thing of leveling up, depending what rank you start at. It could be you move up to noble, but Dong Zhuo starts off as a noble, so he's going to second marquis, and we will get plus 2,000 treasury for it. Now, Dong Zhuo himself, you could recruit more men for him, but I just don't see the point. These guys just kill everything that moves. So instead, what we're going to do is throw him into march stance and move as far as we can towards these horse pastures. The next thing we're going to do is to raise an army, and we don't want to spend too much money, so what we're going to do is raise Li Ru, the strategist. And he can just sit there and, you know, do his thing, recuperate his troops, replenish his troops. After that, we're going to have a look at diplomacy, because, of course, we have a trade deal. So we have a trade agreement, and we want to look for someone who's not that close by and who's going to give us some money. And we're going to go for Wang Rei, because Wang Rei has a lot of resources and offers a lot of money. Another option is Lu Biao. Lu Biao does offer a little bit more money, but there's no special resources. So I prefer to go to Wang Rei. We'll do that, negotiate. Can't really get a huge amount of money out of it, so don't worry about that. Just propose the deal. Now, another thing you could do to get some money, if you go over to the negotiate tab, go to Liu Hong, the emperor, and say, I would quite like some money, please. You'll see that he doesn't really want to give money, but if you pop coerce, you've just got a plus 9.8. So if we say, for example, he can give us 9.8 worth of hard cash up front. See how much that actually provides us with. There we go. And coerce that. Bang! There we go. We lose 30 intimidation, so we're going to drop down to 70. We don't want to overdo this, because if you drop down too far, you'll get negative public order. But we can afford to do it for a little bit. We'll get 1,400 gold from it, which is quite nice. Yes, you must concede. Now, Shuofang, what we want to do here is pop this to upgrade it, and we also have Shihe over here. Now this is empty and we need money, so we're going to do this, and we're not going to worry about public order, because one of the great things about public order and Dong Zhuo is if you have a rebel army showing up, every time you beat them you get intimidation, so it actually benefits you to have the odd rebellion here and there. And the final thing we're going to want to do is look at assignments. Now you'll notice this place has a pathetic population, so it may be worth looking at something that can boost your population in the area. Question is whether or not you want to lose the reserves or not. Another option is just going for food production. Up to you which you want to do. Personally, for me, I like to go for the population growth, just to boost it early on at the beginning of the game. But that's it for turn 1. I will see you in turn 2. Turn 2 is pretty uneventful, it has to be said. We are building up to doing a couple of things. One, of course, is taking this horse pasture. One is taking this animal tamer. Now, to take the animal tamer, we want to move Li Ru down this way. We'd also quite like to give him a little bit of extra troops as well, whilst he can. One of the other things you can look out for here is interesting characters who may pop up. I always recommend people like Yujin, Xunyo, Lu Fan, people like that who are unique characters, even though they don't have unique artwork. Historically, very competent individuals. But I'm not so interested in these guys, and I do think with Dong Zhuo you have enough to worry about with this many people in your court, so you don't really have to go for anyone unless you really fancy having that person in your faction. Now, Liru is there. Dong Zhuo, we need to capture this horse pasture, but unfortunately the horse pasture is just out of our reach, as you will see here, so we're going to need to wait until next turn. That means the only other thing we can do is check out our reforms. And as we have territory, I suggest doing the same thing I always suggest if you have territory, and that is taking foreign envoys, because it gives you another trade agreement which you can use to get more money. So we'll pop back in here, have a look at who wants to trade. And Liu Biao was quite good. Zhou Xin is also quite good at 340, and he has unique things. But yeah, choose whoever you fancy. For me, I'm going to go for Liu Biao, because that's a good amount of money. Negotiate the deal. He will offer quite a lot as well, so we'll get some extra cash out of this. Don't bother using coercion on these small people here. You want to use that against the Emperor to get thousands out of him. That's a bit too much, unfortunately. Not quite. Oh, so close. There we go. He's paid us for the privilege of the trade deal as well, which is quite nice. And then we move on to turn 3. There's nothing else for us to do right now. Actually, no, I forgot there is this. Pop this, because you want to upgrade these towns so that they can grow as well. But yeah, turn 3, I'll see you there. Turn 3 begins with a new mission. The peasants are revolting. Dong Zhuo rises to dispatch them. Word reaches you that a small group of local militia have risen up and taken control of a town nearby. They are claiming that the Han Empire's treatment of them has been bad. We need to engage the following general, Yuan Lin, who is over here. And we will get a law enforcer, which is moderately useful. And then we have this popping up with the Zhang brothers, which of course is the standard mandate war. Now the mandate war happens over here. We could potentially get involved long term, but there's no real need to rush over there, so I'm going to ignore that stuff for now. Right. First things first, we are out of supplies. We need to take the horse pastures. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Take the horse pastures. Boom, in we go, decisive victory. There is no real need to fight this, so just take it. There we go. Plus 10 intimidation. And we will occupy. Notice this, you can raise. Raise will give you plus 8 intimidation and wipe out the population. If you're at war with someone and you just want to hurt them, it's magnificent. I think Dong Zhuo is the only person who can do it as well. Yeah, but understand that the settlement will be reduced to a deserted state if you do that. So don't necessarily do it to anywhere that you wish to capture unless potentially it's Yellow Turban Heartland and you need to spend a lot of money on just changing everything out anyway. But, you know, whatever. For this one, however, we're just going to occupy it. There we go. We've got that, and gave us plus 10 intimidation, which has pushed us back deep into the top end here, which has given us the plus 8 public order bonus. Then, having proven his might, Dong Zhuo expands his sphere of influence. You have reasserted your dominance and the rebels are in retreat. Now you must spread your influence to bring order to those regions in chaos. So we need to earn an entire commandery, and we're aiming for Shuofeng with this, of course. Now, how we're going to do this is simple. We're going to shift him in to scout, but we don't want him to fight, so we need to keep him under 50% movement range and shove him into ambush stance, okay? Everything else is looking pretty good, so we don't need to worry about upgrading anything, but because we've just had that intimidation boost, what we can do is go back to Liu Hong and say, "Oi, buddy, give me lots of money." Oh, wrong one. Request payment. Give me lots of money. Let's say, what was it? 9.8's worth. So just keep ticking it up. There we go. That's pretty close. Coerce. Thank you very much. And yeah, we lose some intimidation, but the important thing is we haven't fallen into this. You do not want to fall into insignificance. Stay at menacing. Whatever happens, stay at menacing. And yeah, that's it. Turn 4 on the way. So, Turn 4 brings us a couple of pop-ups, but mainly this army has shown its face and we need to defeat him. Now this army is not really capable of defeating this type of force, it'll just chew them alive. So what we're going to do is shift Dong Zhuo to march stance, and we want him to be just about there, right on the sphere of influence. Then we're going to use our boy here, get him out of his ambush stance and say go for it. And of course Dong Zhuo is now in reserve. Thank you, we know about this. And we've got a battle on our hands, so I will see you in it. Li Ru has vanguard formation, but his troops will be utterly destroyed by these chaps. So what we're going to do is pull him back over here so that he can be joined by Dong Zhuo when he arrives. So just going to wait for Dong Zhuo to arrive. Here he comes, the big man himself. Everybody's here, fantastic. Right. Now I'm going to set up a formation that's actually pretty accurate ancient Chinese style. Infantry in the middle, flanks guarded by the archers. These infantry can be in reserve. Li Ru there. And then in front of the archers, cavalry wings to act as horns to envelop. And also add a level of protection to the cavalry, the archers themselves. There we go. Everybody rush to position, please. And when we're there, we shall start to advance. Now, the reason why we're formed up like this is because we're trying to sort of invite these guys to charge down our throat, or at least charge one of our cavalry that's strong enough to deal with them very, very effectively. The archers should be able to encourage them and just shoot the crap out of anyone who comes nearby. If they can rush onto these spears, then our cavalry will hit them in the flanks and annihilate them. If they hit our cavalry, our spears will hit them in the flanks and annihilate them. It's a pretty effective defensive formation for an attack, if that makes sense. I know it's a little bit of an oxymoron statement, but if you're attacking, this does give you a good level of balance unless they can wheel around and completely envelop your flanks, which this army definitely cannot do. We have the numbers and we have some very effective shot cav, certainly more effective than theirs. Though I do need to make sure that all my boys are in formation, otherwise they would be destroyed when they got hit. Yes, definitely taking that. Definitely taking that duel. Just a touch further forward, please. Dong Zhuo should absolutely walk this. I don't particularly like using vanguards in duels, but this is early game and Dong Zhuo isn't bad, I guess. Really, he's not that bad. So like a Sun Ce. I mean, he's not quite as good as Sun Ce, but yeah, he's not a bad duelist for a vanguard. He's one of the better vanguard duelists. I'd rather have a sentinel or a champion duel any day of the week, though. But yeah, it does the job. Right, we're not quite in range yet for my archers. There we go, just a touch more. Are we there now? Yes, there we go. Arrows forward. This wing can just shift forward just a touch. The arrows go in, their horses die. More arrows go in, more horses die. For some reason he doesn't wish to charge me, which I'm sort of okay with. You chaps can just advance further forward just a touch. You right behind. Li Ru can sit over here. Here they come. Right, boys, halt. Come on, form. There we go. And that's why this formation is quite effective. My infantry can support my cavalry. I have a spare unit of cavalry to wheel around and kill whoever decides to run away or, you know, just to envelop. But yeah, that's it. Game over for them. One lot of cavalry running, second lot of cavalry running, death, destruction, and all that. Chase them down, please. You boys, you too. Go, 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 go. Chase, 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 chase. No reason for chasing them other than the fact that the more we kill, the better experience we get. Doesn't really matter too much if they get away. But yeah, crushing win. These boys who took the brunt of the charge took a little bit of damage, but that's not a problem. They can take it, that's what they were there for. They protected the archers drew them onto us. The spears hit him in the flank, and then the reserve cavalry swung round and utterly annihilated them. There we go. Battle is won. Decisive victory. There you go. 26 men lost. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Plus 10 intimidation, which is always very, very useful. I'm going to take the replenishment in this case because we could do with more soldiers. And yes, there we go. We have been given the Law Enforcer, which is actually quite useful. Looters, clear war on the Han Empire. But, new one, new mission. Despite delivering swift justice, more rebels harass Dong Zhuo. More rebels have appeared in local areas. They seem to be largely comprised of troops from the Qiang culture. You decide to put down these insolent curs. So we need to defeat 2 armies or garrisons from the looter faction. We've currently defeated 1, and we will get a battle axe. Nice. Now, we were just given this follower, who will give us +2 public order. So we're going to drop that. Second thing we're going to do is just advance a tiny bit further. Dong Zhuo can advance just a tiny bit further. Yes, our supplies are running low. There is nobody there. I want Zhou Tai is someone to look out for, by the way, if you're after anyone. Feather Fan is satisfaction. We can drop that with somebody who's looking, you know, less than satisfied. You're looking less than satisfied. Have a Feather Fan. That's basically how it works. And yeah, easy victory. Next turn, we take the Animal Tamer. I'll see you then. So the end turn phase saw that looter army we just bashed decide they want to come back for round 2. I'm just going to quickly delegate it, kill them off. All done. We got intimidation because that's the second looter army that we destroyed. So mission completed. Lovely. And I think I'm going to take the replenishment again. And a new army has shown up. Ooh, very interesting. So, faction succession, looters, because we just killed them off. We've completed this, so we've got an ancillary, which is very nice. Graffiti, which is yellow turban related, and we don't need to worry about them too much. Right, let's clear all of this stuff. This battle axe, feel free to drop it with someone who you feel is worth doing. Definitely a champion. Shurong maybe, Guo Si, doesn't really matter. Now, they're going to stay in support. Dong Zhuo, with his army, is going to launch the attack. In we go. Decisive victory. There's nothing they can do. Delegate it. In we go. More intimidation. Always very nice. We're going to be using some of that for some more money in a second as well. And we'll occupy. And yeah, there we go. We have conquered Shuofeng Animal Tamer, which is really quite nice indeed. Now, in the meantime, what we want to do is raise another army over here. And who I'm going to raise is probably going to be Shurong, because I want some, you know, relatively cheap, simple army. We'll give him a couple of archers and, yeah, a couple more spears, just, you know, because we can. And final thing to do is our lovely Liu Hong. I would like some cash, please. So we request money. We want about 9.8's worth. And because we're now up to like 80, so we're going to drop back down to 50. So we're well within our range. Ooh, that's way too much. Coerce. Ooh, just a touch over. So if we say that much, Oh, not quite. There we go. How was that? Perfect. About 1,000 again. Very, very nice. Right, and the last thing we need to do is take this salt mine. So, a couple of things we're going to do. We need to have about, 4k ready for that. We've easily got 4k, so we don't need to worry too much. Other thing we might want to do is just provide this chap with a little bit more men in his army, as we've got the money. And we're going to start to shift him off this way. Dong Zhuo is going to sit there. Again, just a couple more men should do the job. And anything else we fancy? Yes, there is. This place has horse pastures, salt mine, all of that stuff. We have income from commerce alone. The salt mine will provide us with industry income. Animal tamer, we should actually probably upgrade now. So yeah, all of that done, and I will see you in turn 6. Turn 6 starts off with the usual people declaring war on other people, but we have this amazing mission here. Dong Zhuo searches for the legendary Red Hare. Rumours are abound of a fantastic horse, ash and red and able to travel 1,000 li in one day. It can cross mountains, rivers and cities as though they were nothing, so has been dubbed Red Hare. You should find it and claim it for yourself, which means we need to move a character towards Shorefang horse pastures, which is why I sent him over here. Now, Dong Zhuo artifacts, this is to do with the yellow turbans. Again, we're not really interested in that, so off we go. Now, he's going to move over here towards the horse pastures. And here we go, we have Red Hare. Now, for those of you who know the history, this is essential in getting Lu Bu on side. This is what we do to bribe him. But we have it, we have Red Hare, that is all well and good. Now, character developments, check it always, see if there's someone you want, but in my case there isn't. We have Red Hare here, who is quite useful. We should hang on to him, and the next thing we want to do is shift this army off down towards Shorefang Salt Mine. And I would also advise just throwing some stuff in here, just to keep everything upgrading, keep everything looking pretty good. Now, other than that, what you could do if you fancy it, you could potentially take a risk and knock back some intimidation to earn some more money. I don't really see the point. I think we have enough as we stand. This town's looking pretty good. The army is there and it's ready, because should this looter army here decide to take the fishing port, we can rush up and smash them and take it. They have quite a lot of cavalry, which is why I suggested having quite a lot of spears in the first place. And we have the money that should we need to, we can recruit another general in there if we don't believe this army is good enough to take it. Anyway, next turn, move on to turn 7. Turn 7 starts with the usual pop-ups that we don't need to worry too much about, but we have got Niu Fu. Now, Niu Fu is a pretty solid vanguard as well. So like I was saying, if you're worried about him being able to take him along, we now have a selection of people to choose from, which is quite nice. All of this stuff you can skip. Character developments, see if there's anyone there. For me, there is no one. Most important thing we can do is drop into this salt mine. Spend the money, establish order. There we go, plus 10 intimidation. Again, we now own a commandery. Next, hostage sent. Interesting. There is wisdom in aligning with the powerful. Those who stand alone soon find themselves at others' mercy. Your victory in war has seen nations fall prostrate in newfound loyalty to your name. A freshly made vassal sends one of their own as a hostage, a dedication, they say, to their new master. So we have a new chap. Gorsa has also leveled up. I think we will throw that at him. Yes, we have Handan Chun. Unessential to look at him right now. Most important thing is to throw something in this so it can start to build up. Now, final notes. We have got Red Hare, we have claimed the first commandery, and we have She-Her here with an army. Now, we know this guy is going to come and attack us, and we know we have enough money to go down and take this, because we have 1,200 income and we have 4,400 here. If we're worried that we don't have enough income, we also know we have enough intimidation to lean on the Emperor to get some more money. So what we're going to want to do next is here, if we think we need to, go in here, recruit Niu Fu. He's pretty solid. You can recruit Li Ju if you would prefer, but Niu Fu gets along with our chap here. Smash this army when it comes near, go down to the fishing port, claim it, and you will have your second commandery. Anding is also there for the taking. You've got a livestock farm here, and you've got this farmland here that's held by the looters. The rest of it is held by the Han Empire, but you will, those of you who know the story, don't worry about too much if the Han Empire is holding stuff. It will come your way eventually. Over here, the Yellow Turbans are going to kick off in a big way. None of that really needs to interest us. We are going to be given the opportunity to confederate Ding Yuan. Ding Yuan is how we get Lu Bu, because we give Lu Bu Red Hare. Lu Bu chops off Ding Yuan's head, brings it to our court. We confederate. So we could end up bordering them, but we can worry about that at that time. The main focus that's going to happen is over here. There's going to be a rebellion by Beigong Boyu. Now, this rebellion is quite huge. Historically, Ma Teng and Han Sui were part of that rebellion, but during this game, they're not even allied at this stage as well, which is quite weird, even though they have very good relations with each other. But during this game, they stay neutral, which means this whole area is going to kick up a fuss. You can rock in there and start to take lots and lots of land. All of this as well is going to lead to you continually generating intimidation that you can use to coerce anyone to do anything you want. You can use it to get more money from Liu Hong. You can use it to get favorable treaties for yourself. It all kind of works. Another thing that's worth doing, and something I've noticed through playing a couple of hours into this campaign, is that if you have military access with some of the people over here, let's say Lu Zhi, for example. Now, Lu Zhi is going to have a whole lot of fervor in his territories that he's just not going to be able to deal with. Bianzhang's another one, okay? They have a small amount of armies, they're fighting big armies from the Yellow Turbans all the time, and their settlements are constantly going to have these small peasant rebellions kicking off all the time. Now, if you have a decent but relatively small army that you can just have into these areas where you've got military access, just moving around, bashing every one of these peasant rebellions. Sure, it helps your friends, well, people you're going to conquer eventually, but it also helps you farm intimidation, which you can use to continually build your public order, build your anti-corruption purges, and also give you the opportunity to lean on people for money and favorable diplomatic ties. Like I said as well, when you're taking these places, don't worry too much. I usually never build these things except to open up that chain of reforms. But for Dong Zhuo, having negative public order doesn't really matter. Just have a small army knocking about, smash them every time a peasant rebellion kicks off, and move on. It's going to boost your intimidation. Now, other things to look out for when you play as Dong Zhuo. By about turn 11, Liu Hong's going to ask you for help. You can either refuse aid or give aid. Giving aid does lose you intimidation. So if you're going to plan to give aid, then you want to stack a whole load of intimidation in advance. Refusing just affects your diplomatic relations. Lu Bu becomes an option by about turn 30-31. And you are given several choices how to encourage him to join your side. Offer a gold, give Red Hare, or refuse to. Obviously, give Red Hare if you want Lu Bu. That will mean that in a couple of turns' time, you'll have the option to either adopt him or reject him. If you adopt him, then of course he will become your family member. But it'll also give you like a sort of a bonus to relationship with him as well, because he comes in a very high level, and if you look at your court, there's nothing you can give him to satisfy him unless you're going to kick him out of the position of heir and put him there, which is an option. It may cause a civil war, it may not, but it's definitely an option. If you reject him as a son, but you will still end up confederating Ding Yuan's territory. but you don't get Lu Bu if you do that. So, you know, it's up to you how you wish to do it. If you want Lu Bu and you're going to risk having him just leave you, then adopt him as a son. If you don't want to have the trouble of Lu Bu, and personally for me, I don't really like having the trouble of Lu Bu, then you'll still get to confederate the lands, but you don't have Lu Bu. There's also a potential event by about turn late 40s, I don't know exactly, like 47, 48, 49, where Lu Bu could automatically leave your faction and set up its own domain over here in Yingchuan. I have seen that happen for my Cao Cao playthrough, my Liu Bei playthrough, and my own personal playthrough as Cao Cao as well. So 3 playthroughs, that has always happened by around the 50th turn. So bear that in mind if you are going to adopt him, but if you make him your heir, you should prevent that from happening. At least I believe you'll prevent them from happening. I haven't tested it out. Other important things, of course, is the overthrowing of He Jin when he's assassinated by the eunuchs. When that happens is around the mid-30s, so 34, 35. Liu Hong dies, then the turn after that, He Jin is assassinated by the eunuchs. The turn after that, you are asked to send people to help. If you go there, you get the pop-up killing the eunuchs. This starts a whole chain where you can replace the emperor with your own puppet, which is the historical route, or lose intimidation. So take the historical route, take control of the emperor, and begin the rise of the warlords period, and then have a lot of fun, because by that stage you should have really conquered the majority of this northwestern period. If you can vassalize, coerce these two into vassalization, you will not have to worry about this whole swathe of area over here, which is historically pretty much what happened, except of course Ma Teng and Han Sui were not with Dong Zhuo during that period. They sort of stayed out of that coalition fight entirely. But yeah, if you can bring them in, you can vassalize and conquer this whole area. You're in a really good situation to then move over here, because they will all be weak from fighting the Yellow Turbans. Smash them across, take the north, take the food supply, name yourself emperor. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's it for Dong Zhuo. I hope you have enjoyed this Perfect Start series. If you have, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. Comment with any ideas you think will make this better. If you have your own ideas of Perfect Start, please leave them below. I always love hearing them. And yes, I will see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye-bye.